We got Curtis on there. Curtis, how you doing, bro?
All good, bro. Only late night calls,
Still up?
I'm still up, man. I'm still up. What are you saying? You're looking tired now, still.
No, I'm all right. I'm all right, man. I'm not too bad at all. Trust me. Got half an hour to go on this stream before we hand over to United Stand. I don't know. I feel all right. I feel like I could go for another few hours straight.
Yeah, man.
Maddison or Grealish?
What you say, Rob?
Maddison or Grealish?
Do you know what? I'm saying Grealish, I know he's a bit bad off the pitch, but I like him, He's producing, he's a leader as well, He come up through the championship with them. I just think he's got a little bit more to him. And Grealish, what are you saying?
I'm just going, I'm going through what a lot of people are saying here. This Mark, he's saying that Grealish because he's has more fight, different positions like Vieira or Keane. I don't know. People seem to be more favouring Maddison.
You reckon? Yeah.
Noel here says Grealish because he's carrying an average team. But then this guy says, I don't like Jack Grealish's attitude.
And that's the problem. He's a bit of a lad, isn't he? We've seen he hasn't covered himself in glory through this either.
Yeah. And then this guy here, Scott, says Maddison can take a free kick and has pace and can be an easy replacement for Ozil. In addition, he definitely has potential. I mean, quite a few people have spoken about him maybe coming in for Ozil, but
nah,
we won't be paying that sort of money that they'd want for him. It's going to be a lot of players staying put.
That's it, innit, man? Because the teams, like you've been saying, teams aren't going to want to spend big money, man. So Maddison will cost 70, 80 million as well, man. I don't see that one happening.
Yeah. What do you see happening with Arsenal?
Jeez, man. Budget transfers, We'll be bargain hunting this summer, man. You're going to have a long transfer daily this year,
Listen, if there is any transfer daily the way things are going.
Yeah, for real. But obviously, Kroenke's come out saying he's going to put money in and that. But is he talking about transfers or is he talking about just plugging the gap now that we need? It wasn't too clear about it, was it?
I think he's more plugging the gap. By the sounds of it, that's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like him putting his big money in. I think it's way more like plugging the gap. Let me just get back to the Grealish thing again. This is Villa Fan TV. It says Grealish, as he's had more goals in him and assists than Maddison. He's been a massive influence on the Villa team and pretty much has kept us competing in the league. More a leader than Maddison. So big shout there for a lot's coming in for Grealish now. It was Maddison at first, but a lot coming. I tend to edge more towards Grealish as well.
Yeah, for real, man. He can dribble. Maddison. Maddison's a good player. I look at him more as a set piece specialist, long range shots and them things. But Grealish moves the ball. He can play in a few positions. I like Grealish, man. And if Villa go down, man, he might be cheap as well if Villa go down.
The Hawks start circling. They're going down.
That's it, man, for real.
That's how football goes. But then that's the old football.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new football that's going to emerge out of this.
Yeah.
And I think that new football that emerges out of this is not going to be a football where there's going to be loads and loads of money splashing around.
Yeah. You're going to have to be smart in the transfer market and develop what you've got. But just, the Aubameyang thing, that's the one problem that I look at the club. If we had that sorted, then we can build around that with everything else. But the uncertainty around that, man, it just causes problems, don't it? And we haven't learned, the Van Persie situation like all them years ago, and we're still in that same scenario again. Best player with a year left on his deal, man. They just don't seem to learn.
Where will he go, though? The more I keep thinking about it, the more I keep saying to myself, where does he go?
I mean, I'm looking at it going, does he go to, well, I hope he don't go anywhere, but does he go to, maybe Barcelona? I know you had Guillaume Balaguer on earlier, but
You heard what Guillaume this morning, we had him on, and he's saying basically Barcelona ain't going to have the money.
No, they're looking swap deals and that.
Yeah. He's saying Barcelona ain't going to have the money. So, and he's also saying that Real Madrid, he don't think will have the money either.
No.
So where does he go? And you think to yourself, a player like Aubameyang, the age is going to be definitely work against him. That means that no club is going to want to pay big money.
No.
Because of his age. So they'll be looking at him maybe thinking, yeah, we'd have him, but if we can get him cheap.
Yeah.
Arsenal in this current climate are not going to want him letting go for cheap. Then, as well as I say, I was chatting to Matt Lucas earlier, you know what I mean? Every player now is also thinking about their own security.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you might be thinking as a player, you know what, maybe I'll take another 2 years extension. At least I know for the next 3 years in this tough period, I'm going to be playing at a club getting paid decent money. And he's a captain, remember. So it's interesting what's going to happen with him.
Do you know what my worry is, though, Rob? Imagine he's sitting there thinking, you know what? I'll just see out the year. I'll just sit there for a year and walk away next summer. You know, because I'm not even, like, I don't know, but we're not even hearing, like, we've offered him a contract and like, the club don't seem to be saying much about it. You know, even you look at Pogba at Man United, all these times he's been criticised and that, but Solskjaer always says they want to keep him. They're talking about new contracts. They're in discussions. I'm not hearing none of that from Arsenal about Aubameyang.
Yeah, but I'm just staying and walking away for free next season. You could be walking away for free into a smaller contract somewhere else. So you could be walking away. You could stay and you could be on, I think he's reportedly on about 180 grand a week. You could stay until the end of the season, still be on that with your cut, remember, because a lot of them are green, it's a wage cut. And then come the end of the season, you walk away for nothing. If you haven't had a season where you've been banging in the goals, you may go from being on 180 grand a week to being on about 40, 30 grand. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Security-wise, for a player of his age, I think he has to think very carefully about what he does. It's a completely different thing now because of what's gone on. Yeah.
It might work in our favour, obviously not the circumstances we want, but I think if we can get him to sign a new contract, we can turn a corner and move forward, because that then tells, potential new signings, we're not that same Arsenal under Gazidis losing our best players. They need to make that mark and keep it, because I can't see a replacement out there, Rob. And what top striker is going to want to come to Arsenal? So, I was watching that interview that Ian Wright did with Lacazette and Aubameyang, and I just feel like he loves the club, man. So they need to convince him. They need to show him the money, man. He needs to see that money on the table.
This is an interesting one. Pablo Mari on a free. What's going to happen with Pablo Mari? He's there on loan, remember, from Flamengo. Yeah. Now, come the end of whenever it is, the season, if that season ends, Arsenal will basically have an option to keep him or send him back. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's very uncertain times. I mean, I was reading today that Pablo Mari was saying that he absolutely loves it in London. Him and his wife love it. It's a beautiful city. He really wants to stay. But number one, he's hardly played any games, so that we can even really see what he's like, apart from a couple. It's going to be uncertain time for him too, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? I can see the club signing him, though. I think they brought him on loan with the intention to sign him. I think Arteta's probably seen. I know. Pre-Corona still, but he fits the price range of Arsenal, don't he? I think that'll suit him. He looks all right, what I've seen of him, but obviously not enough.
This guy says Mari is awful. I don't know how you can say that, because how many games has he played? 2?
2 games? No, you can't say that, man. Can't say that.
Devon for real says, would you be cool if Aubameyang was offered a 2-year extension with an out clause if we missed the Champions League?
Yeah, anything that keeps him here. Do you know what the best solution? And you said it the other day. I think because I think his wage demands and Ozil's will clash. I think the best thing what you said was take a year on like 200,000, 220, something like that, and then when Ozil goes in a year, because he ain't going nowhere, is he, until his contract goes, then move his wage up to maybe 250, 300 for another year or two. Then I think that's the best solution to keep him.
Here's a guy. He's coming with a plan. He says, Robbie, I'd loan Coutinho, swap Partey for Lacazette, and buy Edouard for 30 million.
But you know what? There's a lot of mixed opinions on Coutinho, but me personally, I would snap Coutinho up straight away if we could get him. And Lacazette for Partey as well. If Aubameyang was to stay, I would sacrifice Lacazette for Partey because I think we need that midfielder. And then Edouard, I haven't really seen enough of him, to be honest.
Yeah, he looks decent, but it's without disrespecting the Scottish League too much. But it is the Scottish League, and obviously, it's not the same standard as playing in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone uses the Van Dijk one, but is that a one-off?
Yeah. Danny for Wolves says says Robbie, what Wolves players would you take? Bloody hell.
Half the team.
They take the whole team. I mean, I like Doherty.
Do you like Doherty? Yeah,
I like Doherty. I think he's a very, very good player. I like Traore. He's one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. I like Jota.
Yeah, I like Jota.
He's quality. I like Jimenez.
Yeah.
I like Neves. Again, another goal-scoring midfielder who scores a lot of goals on the edge of the box.
That's half their team, man. Half their team would take.
Even Matinho, I know he's getting a bit old, man, but he's a quality player. They've got a very, very good team. They're very underrated.
Yeah. They bopped us at the Emirates as well earlier in the season, man. They played good football.
Yeah, they bopped us at their place last season as well, man. They destroyed us.
I remember that 3-0.
They got a good manager. They got a good team. They're very good, man. They're very good. So Wolves. Basim says, "Big up Curtis and Robbie. I guess Robbie can go for a week non-stop live stream. Wish you all good health." I don't know about a week.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You've done well doing this long, bro. I'm telling you.
Let's take a check on how we're getting on money wise. And we're still going up, £11,525.41. So still brilliant. And let me just remind people as well that all the money that's going to be earned. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a bit of feedback. I think off your mic then, Curtis. Just turn down your thing a bit. But yeah, I think just to let everybody know, all the money that's made off of this stream is going to be going into that as well. So all the super chats and everything like that. So we're raising a lot of money here, man. This is great. This is really, really satisfying. The first time we've done this on AFTV. And big up the guys from United Stand as well, who are with us on this. Remember, they're going to be taking over from us from 3 o'clock. So from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock is going to be United Stand, and we're going to be coming back in at 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's been brilliant effort by all football fans. Pogba, right? There is a guy saying Pogba makes us better when he's played. Comparison, he's obviously a United fan. The whole Pogba thing. What do you? We've been discussing him a lot today. You see the criticism he was getting during the week off of Souness, off of Danny Mills. Great.
Pogba's brilliant, bro. Don't get me wrong. The Pogba for France is a better player than the Pogba for Man United, but he's got Kante and Matuidi behind him doing his dirty work. He doesn't have that at Man United. He's got Matic and McTominay. They're decent players, but they're not the most mobile. Souness and Danny Mills, their comments, man, I don't really respect what they're saying about the guy. You know, it seems very personal, very bitter. I think Pogba scored 15 goals last year in all competition. I mean, from midfield, you can't question that. Danny Mills is talking about his appearance and, you know, his hairstyle. You know, culturally, you know, you see a lot of people in France who dye their hair and things like that. So I think he gets a lot of unfair criticism, Pogba. I think he can do a little bit more. He's a little bit inconsistent, but, you know, along with De Bruyne, I would say he's the best midfielder in the Premier League for me. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, you can't argue with that, but he needs to, you know, it's the Danny Mills thing. I listened to the interview. Flex was raging about it, and
yeah, I see that.
He you know, we discussing it the other night, and then he sent it to me afterwards, and I listened to it, and I think, you know, some of the things that that he said, I was like, you know, it was almost like he's saying, well, he should accept that fact that, you know, your hair, you shouldn't dye your hair and stuff like that. I disagree with that, but where I would agree with him though is that it's in the psyche of people that if you're not playing well, they start to pick on these things. They start to look on these things and say, well, are you focused? Are you more interested in dancing? We had it with Bellerin, didn't we? Where people were saying, is it all this fashion stuff? Is it taking your focus away from football? So from there, I can see, but, you know, someone can dye their hair whatever the colour they want. What I would say is, if you're going to dye your hair, you better play good. Because people
you have to play good. But it's more a society problem, isn't it, than Pogba? Pogba dyeing his hair shouldn't be a problem, but you know how it goes as well, man.
Yeah.
And Souness as well. He's sour anyway.
Yeah, he's starting to come across really bitter. He is. Vinny says, Robbie, what 2 championship players would you take and why? Help me with this one, Curtis. I forgot his name. Midfielder at Leeds.
Kelvin Phillips, is it?
Phillips, yeah. I like him.
He's a baller.
He's a proper player. And then West Brom have got a guy as well. I've forgotten his name, man.
What position?
Foreign sounding name. I've forgotten his name. Good player.
Yeah.
Good players. Kind of good players in that championship, man.
Good players. It's a hard league. Look at Sheffield United, man. They come out of the championship. They're higher than us in the league, bro.
Exactly.
So,
Well, listen, Curtis, thank you very much for coming on, man. Much appreciated. I know how late it is, man. 2:45 in the morning, man. You're still representing, so
I had to get on it, man. No, I just want to say big up you and everyone, because what you're doing is amazing, man. And you know, contributing to the NHS. Sometimes you have to give back, and you've done that, and I think it's brilliant what you lot are doing. So I had to jump on even in the middle of the night.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. It's much appreciated, man. Thanks, Curtis. Really, really appreciate that. The coronavirus has not just affected the world of football, but has affected everybody. But you know what? We can defeat it. If you're displaying any of the symptoms, always make sure that you self-isolate. I know it's a terrible time, but we will defeat the coronavirus. We will be back.